Hey, this is Dean Soto, and welcome to Infusionsoft Basics for Fun and Profit. I will be your instructor for the rest of this course, and just to let you know, this is something that I am extremely passionate about. I love Infusionsoft. It is such an amazing piece of software for a number of reasons, and we'll get into all of those throughout the entire course, and you're going to see just why it is a godsend when it comes to software. All right, so a little bit about me. This is the last time you're ever going to see this, but I just want to kind of give you my quick testimonial for why I love Infusionsoft. So I've been using Infusionsoft for just over 2 years now, and just in 2014 alone, I was able to automate over $500,000 in sales. Over $500,000 in sales automated, and we're aiming to do even more than that this year. Since using it, I've been able to grow my business over 600%. 600%. That is awesome. Since implementing. And that's only, what, 2 years? Oh, so awesome. And most importantly, throughout using Infusionsoft, throughout my time using Infusionsoft, it has let me be able to work less and worry more about the things that are important, like my wife and 5 kids, what you can see in that picture right there. Now, I do not work for Infusionsoft at all. So, so this is just purely my testimonial. This is purely why I love using this software. Now, let's get into it. Why even use Infusionsoft? What is the point? Why does this even matter, this piece of software? Well, let's first start off with what Infusionsoft is not, because I can tell you, I've seen over and over and over and over again people using Infusionsoft or thinking Infusionsoft does a particular thing when in fact it does a heck of a lot more. Okay, and we're going to get into a little bit of these things. So first off is Infusionsoft is not a newsletter broadcaster. It does not send newsletters. And yes, it can. You can use it for that. But my gosh, I see people join up and use Infusionsoft, and you know, Infusionsoft is not it's not a cheap date. It's pretty expensive to use. And they use it just to send out maybe a weekly email or a monthly email newsletter. And oh my gosh, it is wasting. It's basically kind of like going out, getting a Lamborghini and driving it around the block once every 6 months. That is not what you do with a Lamborghini. You go out and you just floor the thing. You go out to the track, you go wherever, and you use that Lamborghini. So it is not just a newsletter broadcaster. That is not the main reason why you want to use Infusionsoft. Also, it's not an autoresponder. Yes, you can use it as an autoresponder when someone opts into your emails, or say they fill out a survey, or they do certain things. You don't want to use it just as an autoresponder. That is not the point. That is not the point. You don't want to just say, okay, 1 day from now, shoot them this email. 1 week from now, shoot them this email. 2 weeks from now, shoot them this email. And no, it is not just that, okay? We are going to be using this in a way in which you will be able to tell exactly what your customer wants. You are going to be able to tell and respond in an amazingly accurate way toward your customer's needs, or where they are at financially, or what they want to buy, or what their particular interests are, things like that. So it's way more than an autoresponder. And lastly, it is not a CRM. It is not a customer relationship manager. Yes, you can use it as that. Yes, you can. It does have the majority of stuff that a CRM has. It is more than that. It is more than that. And that's the last time I'm going to go through all of this stuff, because you're going to see eventually through using Infusionsoft that yes, it has all these different aspects, but it is something that does a whole lot more. Infusionsoft does one thing, and it does that one thing extremely well. Extremely well. And what is that one thing? It is this right here. It is building systems. It is building things that work together to do a specific task without you. It is building assets. It is basically working on something, putting it into your business, and letting it run wild. Letting it qualify leads, letting it do all of your sales, letting it do all of these things automatically. So you are essentially building assets. That is what it does so well. It builds systems and assets. That is what Infusionsoft does. So I'll give you an example real quick, and we'll go through a lot of examples that I use, and you'll actually see my campaigns in Infusionsoft. But one great example is a system in which when a lead fills out a survey on your site or an opt-in form on your site, maybe you're a chiropractor, maybe you are a doctor, maybe you are dealing in auto insurance or health insurance. Every customer, every lead that comes your way has specific needs. And not only that, they have, your business qualifies them in a certain way, right? So say you are doing life insurance. Well, you want to know things like how many people are in their family. You want to know things like what is their health, their current health, things like that. So when someone fills out a survey on your website, they put in their email address, they put in their name, they put in their first name, last name, they put in their phone number, and you can also ask things like, how old are you? How much do you weigh? Do you currently smoke? Do you currently drink? Things like that. And based off of those questions, this is something that someone would normally do when they had an email autoresponder outside of Infusionsoft. Maybe it was just a normal survey that shot an email with all the information to somebody. Somebody has to go through that and say, well, this person's qualified, this person's not qualified. Well, with Infusionsoft, you can have that happen automatically. Say they are a drinker and you want them to have a certain a certain email response, or maybe you want somebody to call them after they fill out the form. Maybe you want to say something to the effect of, how long have you been drinking? Do another survey that gets sent via an email later on. All of these things can happen automatically. Or maybe it is the perfect customer. Completely healthy, non-smoker, family of 5 or family of 3 or family of whatever, non-smoker, non-drinker, current financial situation is good. Boom. Perfect candidate. And they fill out the form. What do you want to do? Boom, you want to notify your staff. Give these guys a call within the next hour. Shoot these guys an email right after, 15 minutes after, or whatever. Something that would not normally happen with someone who is not qualified. So that is where the power is. All right, so some things to keep in mind during this course. We are always using Infusionsoft to create an asset or system. We always want to use Infusionsoft to take us out of the picture as much as possible. Isn't that cool? That is what I love. So I don't have to look at these emails when somebody isn't financially qualified for one of our products, or isn't qualified because they don't have they're not in a certain category of people or whatever, or a certain demographic or whatever. I don't have to do that anymore. My staff doesn't have to do that anymore. They are segregated based off of how they respond, or based off of what they click on, or based off of what video they watch. You can do so many different things. We're not going to go into a lot of the advanced stuff in this course, but you can qualify prospects in so many different ways. And that is the point. It takes us out of the picture. It takes my staff out of the picture until my staff is actually needed, which saves me money and makes me a ton more money. And we use it to qualify leads and customers. We use it as much as possible to qualify leads and to qualify customers, because what happens when you get a new customer, they buy one of your products or services, and they enjoy what they got. They love what they got. Do you have something that you can cross-sell them on? Do you have something that they would be qualified for, maybe a bigger ticket item? We do this all the time. We have customers that have been with us for 3 years who initially bought a $19 item, and then they bought a $47 item, and then they bought a $97 item, and then they bought a $497 item, and we've had people who have bought $4,000 worth of stuff who have been with us for over 3 years. And so instituting that all came about through Infusionsoft. We had these customers for 3 years. A year down the road, when we implemented Infusionsoft, we qualified these customers, and through that qualifying, once we actually started using Infusionsoft a year later, through qualifying them, we were able to give them even more value, which in turn meant more sales for us, more automated sales for us. How cool is that? That is so cool. And then lastly, we use it to add value to our existing customers, which is exactly what we've been talking about. Adding more value, giving a product or service that our customer is qualified for and actually wants, and not selling them something they don't want and something that they're not qualified for, and wasting your time and your staff's time and frustrating yourself and your customers. That is what we're going to be doing in this course. We're going to be showing how we can do this and what are the steps that we can take using Infusionsoft to really, really, really start making some awesome sales through the information that we gather, through our customers, through what their actions are, things like that. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. It's time to get into the course.